going on, guys? I hope you are all well. Firstly, let me apologise that this video is a day late. I know I said this would be up on the Monday, but after playing the weekend league, I just did not want to get involved with FIFA yesterday. And also, because it is the international break, I would not be in a rush to invest in any of these players, to be honest. As you can see, I've picked out, in my opinion, the 10 most likely fixtures for the marquee matchups this weekend. I say 10. Straight away I'm going to rule out the Asian game. I will show you why. Basically, there is not an Asian World Cup qualifier until next Tuesday. So for me, straight away, no Asian games. Unfortunately, as I know, investment wise, they are by far the best games to get involved with, but unfortunately none of them this weekend. So right, which games here do I believe are most likely to be marquee matchups? Firstly, the Brazil-Argentina game for me is 100% going to be a marquee matchup. Now, the only way it's not is because of the date. So basically they play Thursday morning, I believe, UK time. It'd probably be helpful if I was actually on the game. 10th of the 11th, which I'm pretty sure is this Thursday. Yep. So real late Thursday they play. So what I will say is none of the South American teams are worth investing in, because I mean, each of those countries, they all have so many players that unless there's a real unique specification in the squad building challenge, I mean, and let's be honest, none of us are going to have a clue what that's going to be. So again, would not recommend investing in these players. Just make sure you've got at least 4 or 5 players from each country in your club, so you can do it for discard value. If, like I say, the Brazil-Argentina game, if the squad building challenge goes up on Thursday, will definitely be there. Looking at the fixtures here, I would say Colombia-Chile, if they are going to put 2 from South America in. The reason I've put Uruguay and Ecuador as one of the potential options is that it is second against third. Now, I would have said Colombia-Chile is a bigger game, and I'm not sure that this is true, but to me that just sounds like a derby. Could be wrong, but I would lean towards Colombia-Chile if I was going to go for a second South American game. So for that reason, I'm going to eliminate Uruguay and Ecuador. Above that, USA-Mexico. Now, this alongside England-Scotland are my 2 bankers this weekend. I just, because of the dates they're on, I just cannot see them not being a fixture this weekend. The only way the USA-Mexico one is not going to be there is because of the Giovinco squad building challenge. Maybe they don't want to get more Americans involved, American players involved, because well, they got a few golds saying that. Maybe the fullbacks are pretty expensive, but I imagine they'll make it so you can just do it without needing a full squad. So I'm going to keep that game in there. Now, the African game, or African games, these are the 2 most likely. Again, this is my opinion as to what I believe is going to be a marquee matchup this weekend. Now, again, I'm not certain either of these games is going to be there. I've put Nigeria, Algeria there because it is first against second. Whereas I guess this is first, second again. But the reason I would lean more towards the Morocco-Ivory Coast game is the kickoff time. As you can see, that is the last game of the evening in Africa. So to me, that sort of highlights that it is the main game. It's going to clash with 15 minutes of the Mali game, whereas the Nigeria-Algeria game is going to clash with a bunch of games on at the same time. So again, I'm not I'm not too sure you should invest heavily in either game, but like I say, if it is going to be one, I would go with Morocco Ivory Coast. I'm pretty certain Morocco have quite a few goal players, and I'm almost certain Ivory Coast have got 10 gold players minimum. So again, not the most sound investment, probably worth, again, just making sure you got 5 or 6 of each, 5 or 6 players from each country floating about in your club, just so you can get the SBC done nice and easy, and in case any of the players do skyrocket, then you're not left out of pocket. So that's already 4 games that I can't cross out, and obviously England-Scotland for me, especially being English, I'm gonna say that is the biggest game this weekend. I mean, as a neutral, obviously Brazil-Argentina is by far the biggest game. So, but the 3 derbies 100% are England-Scotland, USA-Mexico and Brazil-Argentina. So for me, you're just trying to find the one game that is going to go alongside those 3. Now, just one quick thing to add on to that. If the marquee matchup does not come out on Thursday, which I believe it will this week, then straight away we can eliminate these 2 games. Morocco Ivory Coast becomes a lot more likely. Now the reason I have France and Sweden, I know that's not a derby, but as you can see, I believe in Europe they're the only top 2 teams playing each other this weekend. So that is my reasoning solely behind selecting Sweden and France. No, it's not a particularly big game in my opinion, although Group A is by far the best group. You've got Netherlands down in 3rd, so that has got potential for a marquee matchup. Well, obviously I wouldn't have selected it otherwise. Now, the one that's probably sticking out to you guys like a sore thumb is Romania versus Poland. Now, do not go investing in these players, maybe 1 or 2 just to have in your club. What I will say is I would invest in Romania and Poland players. Oh, I can't fucking speak. Romania and Poland players this weekend once... Oh, I've had a fucking complete brain fart here. Right, let me start this bit again. I can't be arsed cutting this bit. No, fucking dickhead, no! Right. Let's start speaking English again, yeah? So, Romania, Poland. When to invest in these players. So, as you can tell by the dates, Romania and Poland is the day after Brazil, Argentina. If a squad building challenge or marquee matchups does not drop on Thursday, I would invest, not heavily, but maybe 20 to 30,000 coins in Romania versus Poland, simply because I would have thought you can pick up players from both countries for discard value, and if that game is a marquee matchup, I guess the Romania players have huge potential to probably multiply by 10. I would have thought, at least. I would have thought you can pick up Romanian players for 250, 300 coins, piece of cake, and they will go over 3,000 coins if that is a marquee matchup. So I think that's going to do it for the video. I may hop on to FIFA, show you guys what I have in my club. I've not invested at all. I picked up like 1 Mexican player when I thought I was going to invest, but just because it's internationals, each of these, I mean, besides Romania and possibly Morocco, I would have thought each of these nations has comfortably over 100 players on FIFA. Obviously the main nations, England, Brazil, Argentina, even Colombia, they're going to have close to 500 players on the game, so definitely not a meanwhile investment or worthwhile investment. Scottish players, I would just look to pick up Premier League Scottish players, because that will make the chemistry a lot easier to get. Obviously, I'll look like an absolute idiot if it is non-BPL players in the marquee matchup, but the chances of that are very slim, again, in my opinion. So, to wrap this up, the only players I would look to invest in is Romania, Poland, and that would be Friday morning or late Thursday if the marquee matchup is not up, because I'm pretty certain they're not going to upload a marquee matchup with a game that has already been played. I'm 99% certain they haven't done that so far, and I'm just pretty positive that will not happen at all. It'd just be a pretty stupid thing to do, I think. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this bit, guys. I am now just going to hop on to FIFA, show you guys what I've got in my club, see if I need to invest in any players. So if you have no interest in seeing what I have in my club, then that's going to do it for the video. So you can see you guys out. See, bro, what is wrong with me today? I can't fucking get anything right. See yourselves out. Thanks for watching. I hope you did find this helpful, and I mean, I picked a shitload of games this week, so I should have at least 3 out of 4. Jesus Christ. Right, peace. Oh, see you in the next bit if you're sticking around. Right then, guys, welcome to my club, and yeah, let's see what players we have. Now, first game, England-Scotland. I mean, is it even worth me looking at England? I would have thought I've got close to 100 English players. Yeah, absolute waste of time. I may as well, whilst I'm here, obviously I had France on the list. Again, pretty similar to England, I would have thought. Yeah, plenty of English. Now, it may be worth your time just picking up a couple of silver or bronzes from each of these nations, just to be safe. What else was on this list? I suppose Argentina and Brazil. Just going to be like England. So many gold players in the game. Hopefully I've got a couple of... Oh, wow. More than a few silvers there. And also Brazil. I imagine pretty similar. Yeah. No bronzes though, surprisingly. But yeah, that's all the main nations out of the way. Now we had England versus Scotland. Again, because of the Premier League, I would have thought I've got a few... Yeah, so many Scottish players in the game. Definitely wouldn't recommend picking up too many Scottish players. Where else are we? Sweden. I've been quicker going the other way, but not to worry. Sweden. No, I might not have many Swedish players. Again, still plenty for SBC. Sweden, Romania. Now, I'm not sure I'd have any Romanian players. Again, 2 golds, so I think after this video, I may just invest 5 to 10k in discard value Romanians just to be safe. Again, I'd be pretty surprised if this game was in it, but I'm just trying to find that one fixture like everyone wants each week. That is going to be the gold mine. But again, Poland, plenty of gold players, so not even worth your time picking up Polish players. Morocco, Ivory Coast. Possibly Morocco. Going to have... again, they've got a few... See, all the relatively... or what you would consider smaller countries in the footballing world are getting so good these days that, I mean, apparently they can produce pretty decent wingers in Morocco. Besides that, I'm not sure what the state of Moroccan football is like, but maybe it's worth picking up a few Moroccan goalies or fullbacks. The fullbacks always seem to be solid investments, just because I don't know this is fact, but I assume for the majority of countries, the least amount of gold players they have in each position is most likely to be fullback. Now, that could be complete bollocks. Might have just made up my own little stat there. that is complete bullshit, but the fullbacks always seem to be pretty expensive in the squad building challenges, and I'm not even on M anymore. I'm after Ivory Coast. Got to have Drogba floating about, and again, I'd expect to have more Ivory Coast players than that, but again, 2 CDMs, so I may go and pick up Solomon Kalou, or I don't know if Emmanuel Aboué still in the game. Just some cheap golds. Maybe they've got some discard value silvers that are worth picking up. Again, just because it's the international break, do not pick up players for more than discard value. I just can't see too many players going up because of the amount of players to choose from. USA, Mexico. No, I haven't done that yet. Mexico, again, I imagine I've got at least 20 players. Quite a lot of silvers, actually. That'd be quite nice if there's a silver requirement this week. But yeah, I don't need to pick up any of those players. And America. I've still got a few of those players despite the squad building challenge. So the Giovinco SBC, I should say. Yeah, again, not worth picking up any of those players. I guess the final game to look at is Colombia versus Chile. I don't know why I know this, but I just happen to have lots and lots of gold Colombians now. I know Colombia have a very good team, so this probably explains it why not a smaller nation, but I can't even, they're better than England, I would have thought, at the moment, so I can't really say too much, actually. I just know Colombia are a very good team, so it's not surprising that they have so many gold players. And also the same for Chile, but again, I know I don't have many Chile players, which is pretty strange to me. The fact I've got so many Colombians, but not many Chileans, when I would have thought they're fairly equal in the footballing world. Maybe Chile just happen to have some exceptional players, like obviously Vidal and Sanchez, surrounded by solid players, whereas Colombia seem to have lots and lots of good players and perhaps not the superstar players. I know they have James, but I've sort of gone off him recently. I know he's still very good on FIFA, but he just can't get a game at Real Madrid whenever I see them. And I mean, I know he's an exceptional player, but he's sort of living off that World Cup, in my opinion. He's an unbelievable talent. Definitely needs a transfer. But anyway, I'm going to shut the fuck up, wrap this video up. Like I say, I hope some of you guys find this video of use. Like I say, this week, it's not really a great week to invest, just because it is internationals. I know the Australia SBC at the start of the game was pretty fruitful in terms of investments, but again, I don't think people actually had investments. They just happened to have Australian players stored in their club, and the game was new, so not as many packs had been opened, and people weren't as wise to the SBCs, and I imagine a lot of people would have been discarding Aussie players at that stage. So yeah, I wouldn't exactly break my balls investing in any players this week, really. Like I say, if the marquee matchups doesn't drop on Thursday evening, then jump on the Romania-Poland match, or one of the other games that maybe not even from that list. Maybe have a look yourself if you didn't think any of those games were up to standard. So yeah, England, Scotland, USA, Mexico, your two bankers this week. So if you do want to invest in 100 players, maybe do it from those 4 countries. Like I say, I'm not going to waste my time doing it personally. if you are desperate to try and make some coins, they're the two matches I would go for. Besides that, I would wait until Thursday. If the Marquee matchups doesn't drop, then get on the Morocco, Ivory Coast, Romania, Poland. Hopefully one of those games will be in there. If not, it should be 4 of the games I've gone over, and like I say, unfortunately they're not going to be really worthwhile investments. Or at least I don't think so anyway. So once again, managed to speak English for a couple of minutes now, so that's the result for me. Thank you guys again for watching. If you could, please like the video, comment, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. I am going to try and keep my word, keep this series going on time. I know this video was a day late, but like I say, I was not feeling FIFA after the stress of the weekend league. I did manage to get gold 1 again, so 200k packs. Not to be too disappointed with that. I'm going to get elite next week. I'm going to grind it. Play a lot more divisions this week. I only played about 10 games during the week, so I got off to a bit of a slow start, but none of you guys care about that at the moment. So yeah, wrapping up the video. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Ta-da, gay boys.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's